yoga. Yoga ain't no joke. Not at all. Like, fuck. I'm hurting today. I'm straight hurting. Hurting. What's up? How you doing, buddy? Getting my ass kicked, man. Just got done doing yoga this morning over there with the wellness group. It kicked my ass, Josh. I don't know if you've ever done yoga, but holy shit. Yoga is fucking tough. There's some tough stuff there. How you been, brother? How's life treating you? Been a while since we've got to say hello. Currently, it's just me and you, so how's the everyday world going? Yes, I have. It makes you feel good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It did have a couple of good stretch feeling moments in there, Josh, but man. Hey, Dragon. How are you? Did you get up and do your P90X with us? Were you there doing all those? That was fucking tough today. That fucking yoga's not easy. Like, I don't know why I thought, oh, it's gonna be a yoga day. This will be fucking a breeze. Ugh. There was nothing breezy. Oh look, my deodorant's on my shirt.
I don't think that's deodorant, actually. Looks like on your front belly, too. So, for those of you that did watch, I know it probably didn't look like I was trying my best at yoga. I was. But I got really, really dizzy.
Cupcake's like, yeah, I don't twist and bend and reach like that. To grab your hands between your legs, fuck that guy. Like when he said take your right hand and reach through and grab your left leg, I was like, fuck. I don't look sweaty enough, man.
I do feel like very relaxed-ish almost.
Yes, my body feels calm.
Yes.
You know, like before I was very sore in a tense way.
Yeah.
And now I feel sore in a calm way. Are you making phone calls too this morning?
Not right now.
I was like, damn.
No, I forgot to shut it down last night, so I shut it down. Yeah, Zen.
For sure, a Zen. I mean, Zen as much as I can Zen when I'm not actually in my head cussing out that guy for telling me to do things that are just not possible. Like, I mean, I know they're possible because they were doing them, but not for this chubby guy. We're gonna have to look into like yoga for beginners for when they like some of that shit.
We need to find yoga that you don't have to be upside down for.
Some of that shit was just like it was. First off, I didn't know what half of the stuff was that he was saying. So you have to constantly stop what you're doing to look up to see where he is and what he's doing. And then you got to try and figure out, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Am I feeling this where I'm supposed to feel it? So yeah, it was definitely something new today. It was new. But as far as the sweaty goes, Josh, I bet you I sweat more today. Like, that's not true because
I don't know. I sweat
plyometrics day I was pretty sweaty. Yeah. But today it was insta sweat. Like I was insta moist. The twist triangle.
Yeah.
Yes. The twisted triangle pose. A lot of those like cross-side ones start here, do this, and then do that. It was like, wait, huh? And at the same time, you're trying to look at the screen. So half of those I was twisted wrong because I was trying to watch. Well, it was our first day. We'll get it.
I will probably forever and always have to do a modified version of yoga.
Yeah. It was like Instamoist. Instamoist right out the gate.
Instamoist?
Yeah, when we were doing the yoga. Dragon didn't like that I said the word, and Josh went ahead and repeated it. Instamoist. But that's what I mean, because there was the one where you had to like grab your leg, like you had to like walk up your leg, grab your ankle or whatever, and as soon as I grabbed my fucking calf, I was like, gross.
I was thinking I'm sweaty.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm curious. Saturday is Kempo.
Saturday is Kempo, yeah.
Yes. And you don't want to get up early Saturday morning and do Kempo.
Well, I just don't want to be out of, I mean, it's not that I don't want to get up early. It's just, it's Saturday morning cartoons is supposed to be the, like
the wake up.
Right. I mean, it would be silly for me to get up, kick ass in an exercise, and then go back to being,
okay.
Let me put my PJs
let's think
on.
about it from the other way. How are you after Saturday morning cartoons?
I'm pretty fucking high.
Mm-hmm. So do you think being high is going to help you with Kempo?
I think it's going to make me sober. I bend in half, much less reach my hands through my legs. Dragon, there was so many things that they asked us to do that I just laughed. I was like, not this guy. This guy can't do that.
I wonder, we should talk to Deadeye and see what yoga he used.
Yep.
If he used like a video or... Because, I mean, he was a big guy.
Yep.
You know?
Cupcake's going to have his kids, but he doesn't want to miss Kempo. So you're saying that we should still do it early in the morning.
Have the kids do it with you, Brad.
Look at that. Josh is like, that sounds the best, man. Being high and in jammies after yoga. But so Saturday's not yoga. Saturday's Kempo.
Saturday is Kempo, which is basically like a kickboxing.
Like a kickbox yoga. That's why the pose in there for the yoga.
I tell you what, I feel extremely relaxed, Dragon, and I don't know if you got to watch the video, but I didn't participate in some of it. But I feel very
calm,
mellow.
Well, the dead man, the corpse pose.
Yeah, like I didn't want to move from that.
Yeah, when they told us to do the corpse pose and then the fetal position, the baby poses and stuff like that, I was like, why wasn't this entire exercise?
Why can't yoga just be this?
Yeah, like corpse pose the whole time. Like corpse pose, like that was probably my favorite pose we did. I didn't necessarily like the fetal position because I had to roll onto my hip and that still hurt.
Yeah.
But corpse pose, that was amazing.
My hip popped a lot today.
But oddly enough, so when I was in corpse pose, because I mean, we've all laid in that position, whether it's in bed or on the floor, but doing it in a yoga setting, that breathing and that mentality, the corpse pose was absolutely the most relaxing that I felt. Like it really did feel like shit was like my body,
yes.
Like the aches and pains and stresses and all that were just melting off. So I mean, I will say, I mean, yoga has its benefits for sure. I'm not knocking it, but Cupcake said he never got the email for the videos last night.
I sent them to you.
I know, but last night you did it for the first time ever on a computer to everybody at once.
No, him I did individually. He was the last one.
Oh, well, he didn't get it.
I will have to check when I get into OneDrive, Brad.
Stormy's been getting them in her spam. Apparently she doesn't have you as a friend.
Oh, yeah, Brad, did you check your spam?
MrsBeardedBuds@gmail.com.
I don't know if it's coming from that. 'Cause it's coming from the OneDrive.
From your OneDrive?
So it would be C. McClendon, 1985 at Gmail. It's in the spam. Okay. Yeah, because it's coming from my OneDrive. So
Hiya. Golly.
My shoulders feel more relaxed right now than they have in I don't even know how long.
Yeah, that's right. I just yoga worked out. Now I'm going straight for
A Pepsi. I don't feel let me.
Hey, good morning, Matthew Montgomery. We just got done with our P90X day 4. Today was yoga, and it kicked our ass in a good way. In a good way, it kicked our ass. I mean, as good as possible. Good as possible? It was a guten. Guten Tag. Guten Tag.
Oh, I
Bitteschön. Dragon says she's stuck on the floor at the moment. Can you send me a crane? Don't worry, Dragon. If you're on the floor, one of the yoga moves that they're going to ask you to do is going to be called the crane. Have fun with that one. There was quite a few that even I didn't get. I mean, as time moves on and as I get a little bit more flexible, I will, start doing more of the thing. But I mean, some of those, Brad, I call it the trying to suck your own dick pose. I don't know what they were calling that. Though they did that like it was nothing. They had no problem just rolling back, throwing their legs up in the air, and then boom, toes on the ground, and they were just in it. And I was like, I could hear myself suffocating, and I wasn't even in that pose. Oh, getting ready to head to work. Nice. What the fuck? Suck your own dick pose. Yeah, like look.
Yeah, Dragon. Dragon,
I don't care who you
the
are.
contortionist.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. I had to backward somersault to do that one. So I didn't do it though. I didn't backward somersault. I couldn't get the momentum because I knew I was going to like suffocate if I like this belly. If this belly would have shifted down onto my chest lungs area while they were doing it, it was intense.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I think if they used better terms for the yoga positions, I would know what they were doing.
We need to get a chart on the
right.
wall.
Like if they would have said, okay, now to the suck your own dick pose, I would have been like, oh, this guy's fucking crazy here, and then I would have tried. But like, he was all calling them like upward sky toe. It's like, what's an upward sky toe?
Sound good.
Well, I mean, yeah, my body only bends like that when necessary. Well, apparently, Matthew Montgomery, if you can bend your body like that when it's not necessary, then you have more flexibility.
I want fucking Deadeye to get in here.
Somebody wake up Deadeye.
I wanted to chat with Deadeye.
Well, why don't you just send him a message and say, hey,
send him a message.
So you want me to do it? There was a lot of downward dog, upward dog, and plank, and I couldn't plank at all.
Really? I can plank. I like planking. I can't plank for long, but I can plank. But having my head down and then swooping up doesn't work for me at all. I was in tears. It was not a pleasant experience.
See if Deadeye is awake.
Yeah, blue car guy, you're probably not wrong.
I always feel like the same person named yoga positions.
Yep.
I don't ever know which account Deadeye is using.
Well, he was on Marijuana Mike yesterday. But good for him for doing that.
Yeah, he does yoga, water and yoga.
That's awesome. I don't know if any of you guys got to see Deadeye's before and after photo yesterday. He only does yoga and he drinks water. That's it.
Yoga and water, and this is what Deadeye's got here.
Yep, he went from a very big guy to look at the tightness of his jersey. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. And I mean, I know it's awesome. Phone picture on camera there, but
so awesome.
Yeah, I don't have them as a friend, so I can't tell them to come here. Well, he has so many friend accounts or so many accounts, Dragon. He's got Deadeye Evil, Deadeye Evil 2. Is the Hey Would You Blow Me? Is that even still a
Hub.
It's Hey Would You Blow Me?
Hubba.
Habajua Uba? Hey Would You Blow Me?
Whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. I thought that was a. Is that a Facebook or YouTube?
Oh, that's his Facebook. His YouTube is Marijuana Mike, but there's no real way of like you can tag people in here, but the same person named like try these positions and then try this position and then do this, and it's like that's not a real thing. Oh, but yeah, it's a different aches and pains today. Lots of soreness.
For real.
It's a picture that he sent us.
Yeah.
That he sent me, Dragon.
I think he had it posted on his Facebook. I just don't know which one.
Well, it was gonna be on his.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
Yeah,
but I do remember seeing it at one time too. So it's there. I just don't know which account of his it's on.
Matthew Montgomery, you have a great day as well. Enjoy your day at work. Good morning, Jay. How you doing this morning? Rissa Gary is Jay. Oh, okay. Jay is on his wife's account.
Gotcha.
He didn't want to start his own YouTube.
Gotcha.
So he's like, I'm just going to take the wifey's.
Okay. You really do need...
You need something? Brad. Whether it's
bottled water.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was actually somebody yesterday said that they used 20-ounce bottles, 32-ounce bottles, quart, like not a half-gallon jug and a gallon jug they were using for their weight resistance.
For their weight?
Yeah.
So that would be good. You do need some sort of resistance for the strength training.
So, do you like your MJ Arsenal rigs, the mini rigs? Thank you.
That's you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, anything that is providing you with a little bit of resistance is fine. The bands are actually the harder ones, I think.
Yeah, doing the bands is actually really difficult. Trying to get the band, because like some of the bands, like they'll be too long and you need short throws. So you got to like twist it and step on it and make sure you get enough of it out of there. And
I wasn't getting enough resistance from the bands originally, so I ended up standing on them funny.
He says, I was the first. Thanks, Brock.
I do think we're going to need to get us some dumbbells, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the bands are definitely doable, for sure, but now that mine have been eaten, because my dog's a dickhead.
Well, like, the bands are really nice for, like the pull-up section.
Yeah.
If you don't have a pull-up bar, you can use the pull-up, bands as a pull-up portion. I don't know that the dumbbells would have been the greatest for that.
Yeah.
But it was something. Yoga was something this morning. That's all I could say. Like,
yeah. Oh, dang, yeah.
Only problem was waiting forever for shipping and then paying at my door for customs and taxes. Where are you located at, blue car guy? Boys just went to school. I just wanted to say good morning. Good job. Good morning. Good morning. We just finished our yoga, so I'm smoking my After P90X blunt with you guys. The After P90X blunt. Sorry.
You're going to get some 6-packs made up, right? For waffles today?
Yes, I am. Hitting on some dabs on a 10 millimeter banger seems tiny. I live in Okanagan Valley, British Columbia. Okay. That makes sense then. 10 millimeter banger. Huh. It would be so tiny. Like, wait, it's little bitty. But so I actually, I was looking online at all those MJ Arsenal mini rigs, and they have a bunch of really fucking cool ones. And I think they're on average US about $60. $60 US. You can get them on sale and whatnots and hoodangies and stuff like that. But average are about $60. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if those are any good, you know. And I looked at them a few times, and it's really hard for me to buy something online because then you can't actually see it and touch it or do anything like that. So I was like, I just don't know if I want to spend the money on it yet. And then I went to a head shop that we have here, a glass store, and they actually had a few of them. And so I was like, oh, can I see those? And I got to put them in my hand, and they are tiny. They are very tiny little rigs. And I was like, oh man, I don't know how I would feel holding this. It just feels very little in itself. So I ended up not doing it. But yeah, the 10 millimeter banger is so tiny. Yeah. Mm-hmm. An Illuminati glass. I don't know that I know what an Illuminati glass rig is. We should do a field trip to the ganja stores and see what they got. Go see if we can find some more cool stuff to give everybody. They're the only rigs that's small that aren't like $300,000 of glass. Yeah, exactly. Good morning, Bunkin.
Good morning, Bumpkin.
How are you this morning, Bunkin? Oh, it's a glass color. Okay. Interesting. We should go look into maybe finding some cool rigs for some giveaways.
I won't be able to do it today.
No.
Not till later.
So sore. Bunkin, you got your derby car already? Bunkin Green Seeds derby car? Making some packs up to send out.
I don't know if you heard yesterday or not, Bumpkin, but I did drop the long
He wasn't
kiss.
here when you told him.
Yeah,
or when you told everybody.
The long kiss goodnight.
And Mrs. Bearded dropped a long kiss goodnight. Those might actually be popping up today.
I'm gonna check.
Those might be popping up today. Maybe breaking ground. Well, breaking pod.
Yeah.
Breaking pod. Oh man, you guys are a quiet bunch in the morning. A quiet bunch. extra quiet. So I was just using them bands, and wow, my arms are sore.
Yeah. I mean, the bands, they do work. It's just sometimes they're a pain in the ass.
Right.
Which I don't get because we used them the first time. That's all we used the first time. We did P90X.
You should email MJ Arsenal about promo product details. They do that if you're famous like you guys are. I don't know if we fall into the MJ Arsenal famous category. They look for all kinds of crazy stuff that we haven't quite surpassed. We have, and that's one of the things we got to work on, by the way. We have just a little under 400 subscribers on YouTube, and we got to get those numbers. Like to be able to use your YouTube channel for anything, you have to be able to say that you have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to have to push for getting some subscribers for sure. I did the workouts in the bands box.
Oh, the workouts that come with the bands. My bands had that too.
Love you, Cupcake. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow night's going to be Cupcake story time.
Cupcake, that is a lie. Careful is my middle name. I've been to the emergency room more than once with you. They do look for young smoking, cute smoking chicks for real. And it does work. I mean, if you get yourself a cute little teeny tiny little bebopper to sell your rig, then everyone's like, oh, I want a rig just like that. And I haven't started a derby car. Might not make it for the potwood, but I will most definitely be ready for the dabwood. Man, and I'm not even sure about seed. And that's the thing. We're not even sure that the dabwood. We're not even sure about the information on the dabwood. Started day one last night. Day one of P90X. Yeah, I sent it all to you.
Gotcha. Did you start on like the day one, or are you just saying last night was your day one and you started where we were at yesterday? Like, are you staying with us, or are you gonna? Because you can't
play catch up.
You can't play catch up.
You can't. You'll be dying.
Well, you just can't. Like the exercises are not made your body. Like it would destroy parts of you. You wouldn't be able to do the next one because you'd still be too sore from the previous if you did that. So. Oh, Dragon, we modified the shit out of it. Like, I don't. If you watch us in the morning when we're doing the exercise, you will absolutely see we modify it a lot. I mean, so much. I'm hoping that by 90, day 90, no, I'm doing it one day at a time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we modified it a lot, and I'm hoping that by day 90, I'd love to say I'm not modified by day 90, but
yeah,
there's some stuff in there that I just, man, like, especially this yoga stuff. There's some of this yoga stuff that they were doing that I just don't ever see myself doing. And not, at least not until, P180.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It might not even be 180. It might be 270. 360. P360. By P360, I should be able to. P360X. After a year, just every single day of doing P90X, just over and just recycling it all the way through.
Yeah. Tomorrow is legs and back, I believe.
Legs?
I know it's legs for sure, but I can't remember what the other one
and
is.
And back. Stormy says, how are you feeling on the new medications? It's still causing dizziness. Well, we don't know if it's the medication or if it's the exercising.
Yeah, so since we've been in Texas, I haven't done any really type of exercising at all. I actually haven't been able to do any type of exercising since 2016, which is when I was originally diagnosed and started having all the issues with the vertigo. So I woke up Monday extremely dizzy with vertigo. And I blamed it on the medication because I hadn't even started exercising at that point. But as the week has went on, like Tuesday, it was very mild in the morning and then it kind of went off. And then yesterday it was fine. I didn't have any vertigo at all yesterday. But then today, the, head down, coming up, head down, coming up, caused me to be in like severe vertigo. I stepped off camera. I thought I was going to throw up, but so anytime I'm super, super dizzy, I have to find something stationary to look at. And it makes me cry because I can't stop it. And it frustrates the shit out of me that I can't stop it. So I was off camera for probably 15-ish minutes, I would guess, because it was really bad. But the medication seems to be okay. I'm a little nauseous today. I did do my shot last night, so but I was a little nauseous the first day too. After I had a headache after I took it the last time.
Check your blood pressure. So, I guess
I have really good blood pressure, actually.
Yeah, her blood pressure is amazing. Blue car guy. She actually, so Mrs. Bearded was diagnosed with what is called Meniere's disease, and one of the side effects, we'll call it, is a vertigo, but it's not a positional vertigo. It's just if she's doing something, she will just out of nowhere. Like there for a while when we lived in Iowa, she couldn't even drive because she would be normal, having no issues whatsoever, and then immediately it was like she was insta drunk, and the whole world would start spinning. She's gone into. There was a day where she went into the mall to go pick up prescription sunglasses for our kids because they were done. And she was walking out of the mall and she was crossing through the crosswalk, going from the mall to the parking lot. And all of a sudden she was hit with it. And it was basically like that she was a drunk lady and her knees and legs just gave out from under her. And she just like dropped and buckled and like smashed into the ground, and she tried to catch herself. But as she was trying to catch herself, I don't know if you've ever fallen when you're drunk. You don't actually know where the ground is as you're going down. So then you just make the landing even worse. So they've done all kinds of medications and all kinds of different things and tests or whatnot. And there is no cure that they know of. There is no way to get rid of it. They do give you a lot of different medications that they try and help you battle the different symptoms and side effects that you get. But with the vertigo that it comes with, because the Meniere's vertigo isn't like any other vertigo at all, there isn't shit that they can really do to stop it. I mean, they put her on you need to stop with your water intake and your salt intake because they were basically saying she was retaining too much water and that's what was throwing her off balance. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff, but as far as her blood pressure, right.
Salt.
But as far as her blood pressure goes, that was always on point like that. And again, that was really confusing for them because her blood pressure is.
Yeah, my blood pressure is really, really good, actually,
But,
which is surprising. But my doctor said I fall in the middle because my mom runs really low with blood pressure and my dad runs high. So I fell like right in the middle, which was
known as average.
good.
Yeah. Mom has low blood pressure. Dad has high blood pressure. I was in the middle. Average.
But, like I said, I haven't been able to do anything super physical since 2016. That involved a lot of bending and coming up. And I just haven't been able to do that because of the vertigo. And I was having the vertigo without any sort of movement previously. So Blue Car Guy, I actually, when I first started having the vertigo, they actually gave me patches for behind my ears to stop it. It didn't work.
All kinds of Dramamine pills that they had her on them, all kinds of stuff. So, and I mean, we're now almost at the 10-year mark of.
I mean, I've been dealing with it since probably 2013. We just didn't know what it was until 2016.
Yeah. Yeah, 2016 is 10 years from being diagnosed. But yeah, we're 10 years into,
dealing with it.
Well, as of now, blue car guy. Since we've moved to Texas, it's actually just been really recent since she started her shot. She hasn't had any of the issues because, and her doctor said it could be some of the things that could trigger it could be allergies. Like one of the things that might be triggering it would have been corn pollen, corn dust, and we lived in Iowa, and so it was just all of that. One of the recommendations that they told her she might need to do is she might need to move to like a place like Alaska where there isn't a whole bunch of pollens and things like that floating around to help her. But as we were coming to Texas to visit family in the summer, during that 1 week time that we would be here in Texas, she wouldn't have any issues. She was able to walk. She was she's walking with a walker because again, it was legit.
It was a cane, not a walker.
Sorry. Walking with a cane because again, out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever, she would just all of a sudden fall over, and the dizzy spells could last anywhere from 5 minutes to 4 hours, where it was just everything was spinning and she couldn't do anything. And then of course, on top of it, she is losing her hearing now, so her hearing sucks. She can't hear nothing. And your hearing has to do with your balance, and then there's the crystals in there, and they've done the whole like flip you upside down, shake you around, readjust, and all that did was actually make it even worse. Like when she would go have the crystals readjusted, when they were trying to readjust the crystals, it was just something that would
that's
make
what they
worse,
originally treated me for, was positional vertigo, because originally I was treated for sinus infections and ear infections and a bunch of shit, and then the vertigo came on and they started treating me for positional vertigo, which made my vertigo 100 times worse than what it was. And so it took a long time to get a diagnosis. Once they got a diagnosis, they put me on a shit ton of medicine. I was taking like 15 pills every day. It was god awful. When we moved to Texas, I stopped taking all that medication.
Yeah, I mean, you've been almost 3 years.
Yeah.
July would have been 3 years with no issues at all since we've moved to Texas.
Yeah.
And her doctors weren't sure if it was, maybe if it was an altitude type of thing or a barometric pressure type of, there's so many. And she's joined some groups of, different Meniere's groups, the Meniere's survivors and stuff like that. And there was several people from Texas who had Meniere's that moved to Iowa, and it worked for them. So then, that just goes into does your body just get acclimated to where you are, and then when you change, then that slight change, whether it's the pressure or the altitude or whatever it is enough to make it to where your dizziness and all that stuff, levels out. So it's really kind of a new thing for us. Again, like not new as in like she's never dealt with it, but new as it's been 3 years since she's had an episode or a symptom. So this morning, with us doing the ups, downs, the ins, outs, yoga, the yoga positions that they were having us do in P90X was getting pretty much just as close as, let's readjust your crystals.
Yeah. It really was. And honestly, like the vertigo sucks. Don't get me wrong. But, when you have vertigo for 30 minutes to 4 hours, your body hurts so bad after the vertigo is gone. Like your body is fighting that vertigo. So every muscle in your body hurts. And I used to sleep a lot because my body just hurt. So it's a shitty thing. I don't wish it on anybody. Vertigo's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Now, and so there is, I guess, so Mrs. Bearded did have one surgery, and I don't know that it was related to the Meniere's, but then when they did the surgery, it exposed some things that then they were like, oh, this could be causing it. But you had a surgery.
Well, the surgery caused the vertigo to kick into like high fucking gear.
Right.
After my surgery, it was 2016. I had that surgery 2016. Diagnosed with the Meniere's in July of 2016 because vertigo had gotten so bad.
Right. But they had told her that, hey, by the way, there is a surgery you could do and it could reverse your Meniere's, but it also could make you deaf. So it could not work and make you deaf, or it could work and make you deaf. Like the odds of her losing her hearing were going to be great, but then there was but you might not get dizzy anymore.
Right.
Maybe.
And you may have to learn to walk again. And,
Yeah.
Learn your, your, what are those called? Motor skills.
Motor skills. Yep.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I think moving sounds better than that.
Huh. Yeah. So yeah, we opted not to do the surgery. We were like, as much as quality of life sucks when you're dizzy, I can only imagine quality of life really sucking being dizzy and deaf.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't foresee that being pleasant. It's frustrating more than anything. Like, it frustrates the shit out of me, to be honest.
So what do you guys have planned? What do you guys have planned for your Thursday? What's going on today? Anything cool and exciting? Dragon's going to be working.
I'm working right now.
Mrs. Beard is working she's over here doing all kinds of fun, worky stuff. Making that big money. Making the big dollars.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So, did you guys know that every morning after our P90X, I come out here and I smoke ganja with you guys? I smoke an entire blunt by myself because Mrs. Bearded doesn't smoke. And when I'm done, I am not high. I feel like P90X kicks my body's ass so much that when I smoke weed and it gets into my system, I feel like the weed says, oh, well, we can't get this guy high right now. He's got problems over here. And so they go like start working that problem.
Right.
And then I smoke some more weed and it comes in and that weed's in here like, woo, let's fucking party. And then they get into my body and you're like, oh shit, this guy's got pains over here. And so then the next thing I know, this entire blunt is going into trying to make my body feel better, and it doesn't let me get high, which I feel like if I could get high, I could just forget that my body was in pain. But
I tell you what, I feel so relaxed right now. Like, I could probably just go crash for like hours.
Ooh, Bunkin's setting up his 4x8 and getting ready to start growing again.
Yeah.
I didn't see if Bunkin caught it when we told Bunkin that you did. Did Bunkin respond when you told him you were going to be? Which ones are you doing again?
The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Her name is Samantha.
Samantha. Samantha is her name. She's not even born yet. You like?
She got her name.
Okay.
It's her name.
What if when she starts growing, she doesn't look like a Samantha?
She's a Samantha.
Okay. Long Kiss Goodnight is a Samantha. Hey, what's up, bearded pervert? How you doing this morning? We're just hanging out after our P90X workout. I did. I can't wait to see what she does for me. Yeah. Okay, he did say, okay.
I'm excited.
I get distracted and squirrel. Ow. Go. I am making all kinds of noises. I kind of am in all kind of noise.
You're in all kind of noise today.
Definitely because of all of the dabbing you do. You think so? You think that my blunt doesn't get me high in the morning because of all my dabs? I feel like my blunt is just like, hey, you're in pain. I need to go take care of these ailments over here. Because, marijuana is a medicine first. First and foremost, it is a medicine.
Right.
After that, then it becomes. All right, so I understand Canada has a whole different approach on, hey, today's Missy's birthday.
Yeah.
I just got my calendar reminder. Canada has a whole different approach on cigarettes and tobacco and all that other stuff. So like when you buy a pack of cigarettes or a can of chew, they have extremely graphic photos on their packs for you to see.
Yeah, I just heard that.
Yep. Well, we watched it. We also had a couple of shows that we were watching that showed it. And I mean, they're graphic. Like they show cancerous lungs, cancerous mouths, just different, like it's graphic. And that's one of their ways that they deter people from being smokers, because you have to basically carry that everywhere you go.
Right.
Like when you take that pack out, you have to look at that picture, and, you can't just leave it sitting out, because people would have to look at that as well. So they did it as kind of like a shame, like feel bad about it. But the removal of flavored tobacco. So you're telling me that like you guys don't even get just Swisher, like cigars. I've been nicotine free for a month. Congratulations. Whoa. See,
Dang.
when I was a smoker, me and Canada would have fought.
Yeah.
Me and Canada would have gotten into a big fucking fight if they would have been like, no, you can still be a cigarette smoker, but you can't smoke menthol anymore. I'd be like, say what?
So I bet there's like a underground black market shit for menthol cigarettes in Canada.
Right? Like they're up there with legal weed.
Right. But you can't have a menthol cigarette.
They got street dealers out there selling fucking flavored blunts and menthol cigarettes. Flavored
That's
blunts
crazy.
and Newports. Come get your flavored blunts and Newport.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah, Josh, I was a menthol smoker too. Been smoking menthol since I was 17.
I didn't start smoking them until, I don't know, my dad's bout with strep throat, whatever that was.
Look at that. No advertising allowed at all. So when you go into the stores, they're actually like behind cupboards. So you actually have to know what you want.
Dang.
They can't even be visible. Man.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so like you guys don't have you don't have just regular cigars, like Swisher Sweets. I mean, because they have they're not all flavored, not all of the.
Right.
I understand like the hemp wraps and stuff like that are flavored, but.
Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning, Amanda. The Mohawks in Quebec still illegal make that one. Okay. I've been nicotine free since 5/28 of 2008.
That's awesome.
I can't say nicotine free because my blunts use.
They do have nicotine in them.
Well, I mean, it's a tobacco leaf, tobacco wrap. So I mean, regulars, yes, no flavors. Well, I mean that's okay because honestly, my favorite are like they're just the regular Swisher Sweet, the regular ones. Those are my favorite, anyways. But I can understand how much that would suck. But I can't say that I'm nicotine free because I do smoke blunts on a regular, and we were actually just like going through, like, because we're now doing like. I need to stop. It's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to start throwing some away.
Yeah.
Probably.
So because we were epoxying the blunts, the blunt roaches, and using them, I don't know if I'd even get Swisher. Wow. So this right here, ashtray, is packed full, and there's no ashes in this because I put the blunt out in the ashtray over here, and then I set it here as the little saver, and then so this is a full ashtray of blunts. Plus I have this bag right here of my blunts, and I'm starting to think I might have too many I don't think I can epoxy that many. Or if I do, I'm gonna make we're gonna do blunt art. Like I'm gonna get a piece of paper and I'm gonna fucking lay them all out there and just epoxy them all. I started smoking at 8 and stopped at 23. I started smoking at 14 and stopped at whatever I was. Stopped at 39. 30. I mean, I quit 1 year ago.
You would have been 39 because we quit
2 months and 2 days ago.
Yeah, you quit 3 months after your 39th birthday.
Yeah. So.
Right.
So I smoked from 14 to 39, 25 years. I smoked for 25 years.
That's crazy. You're old.
Wow.
I know, man.
Oh, the Al Capone cognacs. I used to smoke a lot of those. Those were good back when I was a smoker. I have multiple gallon bags of roaches.
Wow, okay.
Okay, Bunkin. I'm curious. And no judgment. No judgment, Bunkin. I'm just curious. Why? Why do you have multiple gallon bags of roaches? And I say this because the only reason I keep my roaches is so that way I can, dip them in acrylic epoxy or whatever and then do fun stuff to send them to you guys for whatever reason. Otherwise, I throw them away because anytime you save them, one, I understand being broke and needing to I get that. I've been there. We have all been there, done that. And then breaking them down. But I've gotten to the point to where, man, after you've smoked all of the really good weed that we all grow for ourselves and we've gotten from each other, trying to smoke a fucking runch bloat, a blunt roach blunt, runch blunt, the taste, we just don't smoke them. I guess, saving for a rainy day when I run out of green. But Bunkin, you're not gonna run out of green.
You're never gonna run out of green.
Make red oil out of them. What's red oil?
Ooh, I don't know what that is.
8 to 2 months shy of 38. What is red? Yeah, what's red oil? Because Mrs. Bearded all of a sudden stopped. She's like, wait, we can use these blunt roaches? Because if that's the case, Bearded's always got bluncher. That's a never ending. Right, Bunkin? You're never gonna need them. You're never gonna need them.
It's a safety net.
No, Bunkin.
It's a safety blanket.
Bunkin. All right, Bunkin, let's talk. Bunkin, let's talk. Because you're not gonna run out of weed. Grower to grower, ganja lover to ganja lover. No matter what, at this point in time in our life, we won't actually run out of weed. Okay? I mean, and I know that there could be some crazy apocalypse and 30 years from now, you're like, oh, I've got all these blunt roaches, No.
We got seeds too. We just grow it.
Right. So, Bunkin, will you have a bonfire and invite your friends over? And after the fire is going and everybody's having a good time and there's a good ember, will you go ahead and take your multiple gallon bags of roaches and will you go toss them into the fire and let everybody hang out and let the smoke just roll? Like honey oil only turns red from resin and charcoal for blunteds. Okay.
Interesting.
You may be out of smoke while curing your next batch. Okay, look. Josh, I agree. There are times where you might be out of ganja while you're curing your next batch. You and I both know that we all know somebody that we can get some from, that we would much rather give them our hard-earned money to taste something that tastes good rather than re-smoke something that doesn't taste good. I'm not saying we're bougie. I'm just saying...
You're a little bougie.
Come on now. You can't keep... He's like, I got a ton of jars curing as we speak.
Oh yeah, you could. You absolutely could.
Oh,
I mean,
and it'll degrade, so you can turn it into red oil, and it'll degrade less
over time
than the blunt
Any
roaches.
oil.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's got like 15 jars in his pantry curing right now, and he's got gallon bags of fucking
And you're worried
roaches.
about running out of weed.
All right, Bunkin. We're having a party. Bunkin's having a
Bunkin,
party. He's
you're
gonna have
a
a
roach
bonfire. A roach hoarder. Roach hoarder. Bunkin, we're having a party. You're gonna toss those roaches into the bonfire for everybody to hang out with. Maybe like do a little pow. We can like send smoke signals to each other. Get like a fan and blow it as it blows out of the fire. Yep, it's happening, Bunkin. No more saving those roaches. No more saving those roaches. Let me grab these two.
Right, as you have fucking
Stick
packs
them.
of them everywhere.
Stick them over here. Well, again, I'm to the point to where I don't need to save roaches anymore. Like for the things that we do, one, we are fortunate enough that we're not getting a whole bunch of hashers and dashers anymore.
Yeah.
So there's that, and the others are for just the fun goodies in their little thing. So pretty soon I won't need roaches anymore.
Yeah.
Couldn't you take the leftover weed in them and make something?
Absolutely.
So,
could,
Dragon,
but
you
have to
can.
decarb it.
You can. Well, and technically it's already decarbed because of the heat of the being smoked. But you absolutely, I won't, look, I don't want to be judgy.
You
but
could absolutely.
I'm not consuming anything that's been,
You wouldn't even know if it was in the form of an edible, though.
you absolutely would. I understand that the edibles taste great because you do it right, but no matter what, smoking weed has a taste and smoking resin has a taste.
Sure. Yeah.
So smoking weed has one flavor and smoking fucking a blunt roach blunt has another flavor. And I don't think that taking something that tastes one way and adding it to a food and then taking something that tastes completely different and adding it to the food is going to give you the same taste. I think you're gonna.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I think you're gonna grab some of the nasty and you're gonna add like you're. No, I would have to respectfully decline. I think the only way I would do that is like if for whatever reason we had some crazy end of the world thing, and we were locked into some bunker. And we all smoked up all the weed that we ever had, and there's no soil or water for us to grow. No one had any seeds. And then like 40 years later, when, I guess I shouldn't say 40 years because then I'd be an 80-year-old man and wouldn't give a fuck. But like some odd years later, we're all like, oh my God, we found this bag of fucking roaches. At that point, after so many years, I might be like, fuck yeah. But I think at the current state of life in which we are in and I am in and weed smoking, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it at all. The smell, Dragon.
Yeah,
The smell.
would be
You wouldn't want that. It's just no. Because again, so now you're gonna extract something. You're gonna extract the goodness, all the good stuff out of something that smells awful. Like I don't know if you've ever smelled a bag of roaches. Like roaches. They taste exactly how they smell, which is awful. They smell resiny and ashtray-y. So then you're going to extract a whole bunch of resiny, ashtray smells and oils out of it, and then you're going to stick that. So then you're going to rub that on your body. I'm out. I'm out. Mm-mm. 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 No, you wouldn't want a bath bomb that smells like resin. Dragon? Mm-mm. You can, I couldn't do it. Walked into the bathroom and it just smells like a big old hot resiny bowl.
Yeah.
And you're in there just splash out. Yeah, dirty ashtray smell is the worst. Isn't it though? That's the worst part of them all.
Yeah.
No, we did so for the Potwood Derby last year for 2022 Potwood Derby, we did a second generation quarter ounce blunt, one of those big, huge raw cones. And we basically took a whole bunch of roaches, broke them all down, cleaned all the ashes out, basically got all the ash out and just got all the weed, ground it all up, and then made, homeless terpenes. Exactly. And we made a quarter pound, I think it's a QP, a quarter pound blunt roach. It was the big raw cone that they have. It's fucking nasty. And we made it using blunt roaches. And so it was a second gen blunt roach. And it was awful. Like, there was 4 of us smoking it. It took us an hour to completely finish it. We choked it down. I mean, we wanted to put it out so many times, and we were just like, power through it. But it's just, when we were a kid, we all used to smoke resin. Like, there's not a single smoker out there that when they first started back in the day, they would smoke weed, and then when they didn't have money, they smoked their resin. They would scrape their bowls and their pipes, and they would put that in there, and then they would smoke that shit. It would taste horrible, and it would get you really, really high, really, really fast, and then you'd crash really hard and sometimes end with a headache. We've all done it. We've all smoked roaches. But after a while, you develop a taste. You develop a certain point of bouginess. And one of those tastes that you develop is, I call it refry. How syrupy was it? Oh, dude, Blue Car, it was nasty. We'll get to that. But I call it refry. I won't smoke a refry, something that's been fried once and now you got to refry it. It's not my thing. Refries just
You used to, though. You guys used to roll second and third gen.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the only time we would do that, though, was as a funny ha-ha. Right. It was like, oh, we've got all these blunt roaches. Let's see how many blunt roaches we can get. So we used to do we would do a second generation, which a second generation would be taking these and turning these roaches into a full blunt. So however many, and normally it was like 10 of these roaches made a blunt. Okay. So then that blunt is now a second generation. So I could probably get, out of everything in here, I could probably get several second generation blunts. Once you smoke all of those second generation blunts and you put those out, those roaches will then create a third generation. And we got as far as, we had enough blunt roaches at one point in time that we saved because we wanted to know how many could we get to. And we knew it was going to be the nastiest thing in the world, but it was more the point. And we saved enough roaches to get us all the way up to where we smoked between 4 people. 4 of us smoked one 4th generation blunt covered in keef and stuff like that. It was the most rancid blunt I have ever smoked. The taste was awful. I don't even remember. I think that was a White Owl white grape, because we were like, no matter what, White Owl white, you can't go wrong with a White Owl white grape. It'll at least taste grapey, and it was bad. So it just, it's not something that I want to do anymore. Not something I want to do anymore. Got to charge my phone. Have a blessed day. All right, Bunkin, you have a great one.
Have a good day, Bunkin.
Good morning, Bearded Father. Mom and Dad and brother did that. Yep. My brother used to take all my parents' roaches and smoke them. I mean, there's a time, yeah. I used to say it's like putting out an expensive cigar and then trying to relight it. Always tastes, yeah. I don't. It's not a fun, pleasant thing to do. Not a fun, pleasant thing to do, for sure. Although Bunkin never agreed to having a bonfire. I just want to, Bunkin has left, and not once as we said, hey, Bunkin, we should have a bonfire and throw all those in there for everybody to enjoy. He never once said, yeah, you're right. So Bunkin's sticking to, I'm going to hoard my blunt roaches. Yeah, he's keeping his quart, he's keeping all of his, gallon bags.
That's crazy.
All right, guys, we are done with our after blunt. For our after workout blunt, our after blunt. Did we get 4 new Patreons? I've been on project. We did not. We are going to do that tomorrow night because Patreon Not that we're doing it through Patreon, but Patreon was being super silly, goofy. And when I made the announcement that we were going to do it, we got really high and then completely forgot. So, Bearded Father, we will do that tomorrow. We'll do that at the beginning of the live. We'll do that within the first, how about the first 30 minutes of the live tomorrow night? We do, I'll even write it down.
Write it down. Make myself a note.
Make a note. First 30 men do for Patreon giveaway from KB. Yeah. First 30 minutes due for Patreon giveaway from KB.
He's got it written down now. Did you use my private ship for something?
No. Wait. No, I don't think so. Wait, that's
Jackson, Wyoming?
search what Jackson, Wyoming is.
I didn't send anything yesterday. So.
Huh? I didn't
I
send
didn't-
anything yesterday either. So I'm wondering if it's a return.
Oh, it might be the credit back for that label we had to refund.
But that wasn't Wyoming, that was Kentucky. Make a smoke cannon and smoke out a 420 event with all of the roaches. Oh, that'd be awful. Just everybody taste this nastiness. Everybody's clothes would
gross.
reek. So, all right, guys. You have a wonderful day. Get out there, grow smiles, and of course, always do better. Enjoy your Thursday.
Be kind and stay
Peace.
classy.